I love to find inspiring quotations, and today you get a professional psychologist's top 10 inspirational quotes. I almost hate to put these in any kind of an order because they're all awesome. Let's start with number 10 today, Maya Angelou, who has a lot of really inspiring quotations. This one caught my attention. Listen to this. Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. Don't you love that? That gives me a lot of hope because I'm still learning. Coming in at number 9 today, this is a quote that hung on our wall right above the desk for years. It's from Carolyn Myers. Here's the quotation. Everything is okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Again, there's a lot of hope in that because sometimes it doesn't feel like things are okay. Hang on, it's not the end. Number 8 comes from a prominent spiritual leader named Gordon B. Hinckley, who's had a profound influence in my life. And one of the things he said was, "In all of living, have much fun and laughter. Life is to be enjoyed, not just endured." You know what? I really believe that the purpose of our life here is to experience joy. And if we're not having fun, we're doing something wrong. Joy is more than fun. It's a richness that comes when you really embrace principle. I love that quotation. Another very inspiring woman, Rosa Parks, had a lot of reasons to be afraid. But she said, knowing what must be done does away with fear. I can just picture her on that bus as she took a stand, doing what she knew needed to be done to purchase freedom. Freedom is not free. And it's people like Rosa Parks who have created more freedom for you and me. That's so inspiring. Number 6 on today's countdown comes from Dan Zadra. Dan said this about our imagination. Worry is the misuse of imagination. Such a simple quote that is so profound. And I've done a lot of psychological research on this to determine that anxiety is created by our imagining of something worse than what we already have. That's how it's formed. And Dan nailed it with that quote. Worry is the misuse of imagination. Number 5 on our list comes from an ancient philosopher named Epictetus. And I'm going to read this to make sure that I get it right, because they talked funny back then. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Do you love that change of focus? Let me read that once more. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Gratitude has been shown in the psychological research to be a profound way to change your mood and the direction of your life. And apparently they knew that in ancient times. Coming in at number 4 today is another mother of freedom, Harriet Tubman, who said this, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." There's got to be somebody that envisions what's possible. And the dreams that come are because of the dreamers who dream them. You have your dreams for a reason. Harriet Tubman had hers and brought freedom to so many people through her dreams. What are your dreams going to create? And who can you liberate because of them? At my office, I have a picture on the wall about attitude and how important that is. There's a quotation on this poster from Louis L. Mann, who said this, "What happens to a man is less significant than what happens within a man." It's our thinking that makes a bigger difference. I've been doing podcasting now since 2007. That's before podcasting was even a thing. And I have found that every inspiring story has a hard part right in the middle, something that was challenging or difficult or painful, that someone went through and then rose from that occasion into greatness. Heroism. These heroic people that I have interviewed have proven this to me. What happens to you, what happens around you, that's simply the weather report. That creates the context. What happens inside of you, that's what's really important. George Bernard Shaw picked up the number 2 spot on today's countdown with this quotation. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. I saw that as a footer on an email once and it just caught my attention. Get out of the way. Either you're in or you're in the way. And don't interrupt the people who are innovating. I look at people like Elon Musk, for example. I don't know him personally, but I am so much in awe of what he is doing that people would have said could never be done. Get out of the way. Either you're in or you're in the way. The quotation again, people who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. And that brings us to number 1. And who better for this than the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who inspired millions to see a different kind of a world that we can all live in together. And one of the things that Dr. King said was this: the time is always right to do the right thing. We can't solve a problem with the same kind of thinking that caused the problem in the first place. Dr. King knew this, and he called for people to do the right thing, even in the face of oppression and discrimination. The time is always right to do the right thing. I probably could have done a top 20 list here. There are so many inspiring quotations from great leaders like the ones I've referred to here today. If you've enjoyed this video, would you please share it? Let's start a movement of positivity that covers the entire world. Are you in? Join me. Street alone, alone, alone. Her head was down, face locked onto the phone.